877-600-4264.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
So there's an enormous number of positives going on right now. We're seeing inflation creep in. And the question is, when does the Fed move? It has to move at some point. And I think the bias is more likely earlier than the current dots would suggest rather than later. And that's what I expressed.
Inflation. The Fed moving? What are you, nuts? They're not going to move on inflation. They want inflation. Are you kidding? All their spending depends on inflation. The debt they carry depends on inflation. They need inflation to destroy the dollar. So to destroy the value of the debt they have to China, the Saudis, and other countries. What are you, nuts? You know, inflation is so destructive. And I'm watching Powell today talking. And you know he's lying because his lips are moving. Of course he's lying. This guy doesn't tell the truth. You think he wants to get fired before his term is up? Remember, the people who chair these committees, the Fed, they're like a little talking Dow. They put the big boys come in who control the Fed, the 1/100th of 1 percentile, and they pop into words they want him to say. Are you kidding? He's not independent. He tells us what we want to hear, like inflation is transitory. Now, do you remember last week, Maria came out talking about the 10-year Treasury. She thought, hey, something's wrong here. How could the Treasury yield be going down? It doesn't make sense. We should be going up. Here's what she said.
Why are yields going down, even as we heard what the Fed said, Lindsay, in your reaction?
Yeah, why are yields going down? She couldn't figure it out. Somebody must be manipulating the 10-year Treasury to go down. And then today, now remember what happened. If you go back and take a look at the yields, we had going back to, going back to last Monday, remember the yields were 144 basis points. And then Friday, they were 156 basis point. Then today, they're back down to 144 basis point. Think about it, 156 basis points. The market dropped. Boom. Then Monday we turn around, and we had a rally. So here's what she said. Again, she said this today, talking about the fact that how could the Fed on Friday have 156 basis points, going up from 144 basis points, and then Monday all of a sudden, boom, they dropped the yields back down to 144.
It's a head scratcher. Yields have gone down. Look at where the 10-year yield is this morning, down another 2 basis points.
So what she's saying is, how can the yield be going down when there's such inflation? And who do you believe? Powell, who says don't worry about inflation, it's transitory, or do you believe the yield? Do you believe the yield? And that's the question. That's the question. And remember, the bond yield is like to a trader for years, since the beginning of the market. It's been like the Bible. It's the only place you go to get the truth. Is there inflation or not inflation? Because it anticipates inflation. You could trust it. And when you anticipate inflation, because remember, markets look forward. And if you can anticipate inflation come, then you can set your portfolio up to make sure you make money with inflation. If inflation is going to go down, you do the same thing. But if they're lying to you and manipulating, and they never used to do that until 2008. And even then it wasn't too bad until we got to where we are today. Inflation has to be tracked because it's destructive. It destroys the dollar. And that's all caused by the Fed printing money to purchase treasuries to artificially lower rates so to benefit the very wealthy, who most of their income comes from the stock market. And they want low rates because with very, very low rates at zero, they can get those stocks way up. And that's what they've been doing. They can send money to the CEOs, the big banks, send the money to CEOs, give them low rate interest so they go buy their own stock to push the stock market up. But here's the problem. Stocks go up, but not wages. Inflation goes up, but not wages. And know who gets hurt the most is the middle class. And the middle class is the most important because why? The middle class, they create the small startup businesses. They create our small businesses. And it's the small businesses that's the backbone of our nation. That's what keeps us strong. That's where all our employment comes from. Not from Apple, not from Netflix, not from Facebook. It comes from the small business on your main street of your city, your town. That's where it comes from. So they cause all this inflation because they print too much money. But that benefits the wealthy. The middle class gets screwed. And that means all America gets screwed because without small business, startup businesses, you don't get the good jobs. Remember, corporations don't pay taxes. The middle class does. And most of it contributes, think about it, the middle class contributes 70% to all the taxes collected. When Treasury collects all the taxes, and they look back, well, where's it all coming from? 70% of the personal taxes you and I and everybody pays, 70% comes from the middle class. And they're being screwed the most by the Federal Reserve, who's playing with inflation. Now, wait a minute. Remember, why? Why they do this? Because remember, Congress, both Republicans and the Democrats, in return for campaign funds, they made sure they made tax law with big bunch of loopholes so that they can get around paying taxes. So when you hear the Democrats squawk about how corporations are getting away with murder, they're not paying any taxes. Well, remember, they and the Republicans caused that. They're the ones who wrote the laws, both the Democrats and the Republicans, so they can get big donations, so they get reelected. Inflation's terrible. As prices start to rise due to inflation, faster than wages, that causes the middle class, the backbone of our country, to wonder how they're going to make ends meet. That's the last thing we want with the people who are entrepreneurs, who are the startup businesses. Our country's not built by Apple or Netflix or Microsoft. That's not how our country's built. Our country's built by small business. And guess what? Apple and Cisco and Netflix and Oracle wouldn't exist or wouldn't have grown to the size they were without small businesses, because they want small business, because that's how they grow. They go and buy all those businesses. Cisco, remember, you go back to the early 70s, 80s. Remember, Cisco grew. They're buying like 12, 15, 22 businesses a day. That's how they grew. They're buying small businesses because small businesses is where the creation is. You have more patents with small businesses than Cisco ever had, so they go and buy the business to get those patents. Did the same. Oracle did the same thing. All the big companies did the same thing. Apple, Microsoft, they go and they buy all these small businesses because they need them. I mean, so next time you hear how Microsoft and Apple and they're the basis of our country, are you kidding? And this inflation is destroying our economy. Join my gang.
Want more information on this show?
For 10
Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market is still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Remember, listen to my radio program on my YouTube channel. And also, remember, every Friday on my YouTube channel, I do a roundup for the week, identifying why we're getting closer to that 75% crash we're going to have. So I've been doing that every Friday so that you're not going to be surprised. It's free. Just go to my YouTube channel and I show you the evidence at the end of each week. I go through the week and show you, here's why we're going to have the crash. If anybody tells you we're not going to have a crash, they're nuts. They are nuts. Now, this is amazing. Remember what I told you. Inflation is a terrible thing, especially for the middle class. The middle class gets screwed big time, okay? They're the ones that really get hurt because we need them. We need these entrepreneurs. We need these startup businesses. So doesn't all the big tech companies that are growing. Like I said, Cisco, go check it out. See how many companies they bought every week when they were growing. Same thing with Oracle. Remember, the Federal Reserve is not federal. No more than Federal Express. And they have no reserves. They're gangsters. It's a banking cartel. It's been put together to benefit them, not us. They use inflation as a way to they use inflation as a smokescreen, and they use inflation. The government uses that inflation for spending. That's how they spend money. They need to inflate to spend money. Unbelievable. Instead of printing money and putting it into productivity, the corporation should be taking that cheap money and put in new machinery, new equipment, called business equipment. Business investment, rather. If you have business investment, we will be productive. And when you're productive, wages go up, savings goes up, good things happen, the economy grows. When you decide to get rid of growth for printing of money, growth, you get rid of that growth and say, instead what we're going to do is let's inflate. And we'll use inflation to spend, for spending, and we'll use inflation for a way to take our debt and devaluate it. So if I owe $1 million to China, if my dollar goes down 20%, China, I don't owe them $1 million anymore. I owe them $800 billion, and so on. This is what they're doing. They also used inflation to cover up the problems in the economy. One of the biggest problems we have right now, because they don't take the money and put it into productivity. They got rid of productivity, and what they're doing now, without productivity, we are not making enough goods. You know, you hear every day how the shortages we have, because they don't take and be productive. They don't take that money and put into production to increase goods. So we end up with the little bit of money we have, they chase. So you got all this money out there, especially now you got all this government money coming in. If you get a $300 unemployment check, you get another $300 unemployment check from the federal government. And you get another $1,400 check, another $1,200 check. You're getting all this money. So now we're chasing, got all this money chasing too few goods. And everybody say, wow, look at the economy's growing. Look, the economy's growing. Look at this. That's not growth. That's not growth. That's debt. And that's inflation, which is destructive. He's calling that growth. Well, if that's growth, then what the hell? Why does anybody have a business? Why don't we just print $1 billion for every household, give it to them? Why is anybody going to work? They're liars. They focus on quantitative easing, not productivity. They focus on printing money to keep buying these treasuries, to keep lowering these rates. And he came on the other day, and he lied. He said, I am going to start raising rates. He's not going to raise rates. To say that's a bold-faced lie. He's not going to raise rates. It's unbelievable. Now listen to this. This is so embarrassing, I can't even play it. This is Art Laffer, who I threw off my show about, 5 years ago. Or he walked off because I was going to throw him off.
Who wins the foot race between inflation and stocks?
Well, I think, I don't really know, Larry, to be honest. I don't know that inflation is here yet.
Doesn't know if inflation is here yet? Of course he doesn't know. He has people working for him. He doesn't go to the supermarket. He doesn't know coffee's going up 30, 40%. He doesn't know sugar's going up. He doesn't know meat's going up. He has people buy all that for him. This guy's a multi-million-dollar. I mean, he could buy and sell Trump. Are you kidding? He doesn't know what the hell is going. Imagine saying something that stupid, and then at the same time, here, let's play this.
Who wins the foot race between inflation and stocks?
Well, I think, I don't really know, Larry, to be honest. I don't know that inflation is here yet.
Oh, really? How about this? Where you been? Under a rock, most likely.
Lumber's obviously been up a significant amount, and while it's come back a little bit, it's still record highs. Many of the lumber yards that I speak to still anticipate 20 to 25% permanent increases.
Oh, wait a minute. And he said he don't know if this inflation is here yet. How about this?
You know, the current structure of the market is absolutely telling you that the market is hungry for oil. We've moved from a situation...
Yes, and it is hungry for oil. And everybody's telling you oil's going down. Don't believe it. But what do we need to tell us if oil's going down, oil going up? What do we need to tell us what stocks we are in? Should we be in stocks that, like, for example, every day we got to know, should we be in value stocks? Should we be in value stocks like banks and oil? Or wait a minute, should we be in growth stocks like big tech and semis? And like Tesla, should we be in those? Should we be looking at stocks that have lower yields? Or I mean, what stock should we be in with higher inflation? What stock should we be in with lower inflation? When should we be in value and when should we be in growth? Well, that all depends on the bond. See, and the bond market was like a religion. You could trust it, so you knew where to put your money based on the bond market. You know more. I'll explain that when I come back, and some stocks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
I've signed up, and I've learned an incredible amount from Phil and Steve. The staff at Phil's Gang gives platinum-level service and stock recommendations. You know, it's as simple as that. At the end of a month or so, I've always been in the black. Phil's Gang is a class act. I'm happy to be a member.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, we're talking about the bond market. And yes, most people don't even understand the bond market. And we understand it very clearly. It's our business. And we make sure that our members are invested in the right stocks based on what the bond is doing. It's really simple. It's not that hard. But yes, it's a little complicated, but we make sure before we make a move. For example, right now, if you think inflation, okay, is going to go down, okay, then in other words, if you have high yields, if you just watch the bond market, the yields, that's the interest. Every day it's so simple. The yield's going up, the interest going up. That means you're going to have lower inflation. So make sure you're in banks, in oil, defensive stocks. Very simple. Or if all of a sudden your yields drop, you're going to have higher inflation. Now, Maria Bartiromo brought up a good point about Powell.
Continues to say it's transitory, but yields are moving lower. So do you believe Jay Powell or do you believe the bond market?
That's right. Yields are going lower. And he's saying, oh, don't worry about inflation. It's just temporary. We don't really have any inflation. So do you believe Powell? Are you kidding me? What? Why would you believe him? So if you have higher yields and you look at the yields that are going up, then you're going to buy oil. Aren't you? That's what we've been doing. Because we know, and we've been in oil. Higher yields, lower inflation, right? So you start buying any stock that they call a value stock or defensive stocks, and vice versa. So if you got low inflation, okay, and you look and you're just think of it this way: if you got lower yields, put it that way, you buy the big tech stocks, you buy the FANG stocks. If the yields are going down, okay. Lower yields, just think of this. Lower yields, you just keep buying the big tech stocks. And you can see it takes a second to look up the yields. That's where you should be. That's if you have lower inflation. I mean lower inflation. You want those big tech stocks, okay? Or lower yields, you want the big tech stocks. See, I'm already getting confused. You want the, like, if you go and take a look, what has big tech been doing? Big tech in the last few days have been going up because they're saying, look, yields are going down. I'm going to buy big tech. Banks have been selling off, but I think that's going to change quickly. Here, let me give an example. How crazy this is and what they've been doing, how they've been manipulating. Remember, the bond market is so important because it's a tradition of truth since the stock market began. And you want to know what the bond market is doing because you want to find out the investors, what their sentiment is about both the stock market, but even more crucial, inflation. Because it tells you the bond market anticipate what inflation is doing, so you know to be in or to be out of certain stocks. And inflation is dangerous. It's destructive. It's a cruel tax. It destroys wealth. It destroys the economy. It destroys the middle class. Remember, we have a lot of noise. A lot of noise. If you just listen to the fake business news networks, they're just pitchmen. Kudlow and all his buddies, all these people you see on there, the hosts and guests, they're pitchmen. That's all they are. They never tell you the truth. Remember Kudlow? Kudlow kept saying, there's no housing crash. There's no housing crash. And it was crashing right. He said, there's no housing crash. There's no inflation. He kept saying there's no inflation. Are you kidding me? No inflation? Are you kidding? Yields were going through the floor. And inflation was going straight up. And he said, oh, there's no inflation, even though the yields were dropping on the 10-year Treasury. He said, oh, no, don't worry about it. So you can't, the best thing to believe is the bond yield. It's really simple. Higher yields, lower inflation. Lower yields, higher inflation. If you think it's confusing, join my gang. And every day we're here at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's what we start looking at, the first thing, so we can make sure our members are in the right stocks. Should they be in oil and banks, or they should be in tech? If yields are down, we put them in tech. Techs love low yields. And here's the problem. This is why they're manipulating the market. They're manipulating the bond market. Because remember, you take all the big hedge funds, you take people in Congress, you take guys on Wall Street, everybody's made their wealth from tech stocks. But to make wealth from tech stocks, you got to keep on lowering those yields. And you print money to buy bonds, to buy treasuries, to lower the interest rate, number one, right? To keep the interest rate down. To keep the interest rate down. That's the first thing. So they can, as long as they keep printing money, to keep buying yields, to keep interest rates down, they love it. They love it. And then, if your yields are going down, or your interest is going down, right? All those guys are jumping in the semi. So now all of a sudden they see yields are going up. They're grumpy. So now they're manipulating. They got to get it back down. So think about what happened. Last Monday, 144. So we had lower yields. It was about 144 basis points. That indicated higher inflation. So purchase growth stocks. Okay, so you got the lower yields, so go out and we're buying semiconductors. Supposed to be buying semiconductors, supposed to be buying Tesla and growth stocks. Now that was on Monday. That was Monday. Friday, all of a sudden, we start seeing yields going back up. We were up at 156 basis points from 144. We closed on Monday. We closed on Friday, and we had 156 basis points. This past Friday I'm talking about. Now that's up from 144 a week ago Monday. Yesterday, now remember the market shot up 500 points based on a yield going up to 156 basis points. So now Monday comes yesterday, Monday comes, and all of a sudden we start seeing the yield drops 144 basis points. So wait a minute, how could we close on Friday up 156 basis points? The market went up 500 points, and then turn around on Monday, we come right in over the weekend, and they're down 144 basis points. Why? Because they wanted the tech stocks to go back up. That's why. So this is crazy. Now, here we are Tuesday. So now, today, the yields are back to 149 basis, going back up. They want to drive them back down all the time so that everybody keeps making a fortune on big tech. See, the whole deal is to corrupt the market, corrupt the bond market, to make sure yields keep going down. So here you are. One day you're purchasing tech stocks. The next day you're purchasing bank stocks. The next day you're back to purchasing tech stocks. Next day you're purchasing bank stocks. You don't know what the hell to purchase because you can't trust the bond market. They destroyed what was pure, the bond market. So what you got to do to make money in stocks is you got to trust your charts. But the problem with all the charts out there, you go look at all charts. They don't tell you when to get in and when to get out. They don't follow the money. The chart that I designed years ago, it's a color-coded chart. It tells you if money's going in or money's going out, so you know exactly what to buy and what not to buy. Because you can't trust the bond yields anymore because of the Federal Reserve. Be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days, philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang free. It's 10 days. And every morning, before our members begin, we tell them exactly, okay, what we think is going to happen. Okay, whether those yields are up or down. And then we also tell them, let's not focus so much on those yields anymore because you can't. Because they destroyed the purity of the yields. They're manipulating them. Just like Maria Bartiromo said. What the hell is he talking about? The yields are dropping telling you we're going to have inflation, he's saying, no, it's temporary. And you saw what happened between Monday, June 14th to this Monday, June 21st. It was all over the place. It was unbelievable. I mean, I couldn't believe on what happened on this Friday. This Friday, we were back up to 156 basis points. What are you, nuts? And then we come in, we're down 144 basis points. So we're at 156 basis points. Market closes up 500 points on Friday. We come down on Monday, then it is down 500 points. So you can't depend on that anymore. Isn't that sad? That's how they corrupted this market. Just like you can't. It used to be you and me would decide what price of Ford would be, or what price Facebook would be, because you and I would do bids against each other. We decided what the price was. That's all gone. Since 2008, they manipulated the pricing of stocks. We don't determine pricing anymore like we used to do for years and years. They determine the price. They corrupt it, called financial engineering. That's when they print money, go in, and they take that money, give it to the CEOs. CEOs go in and decide how much they want to push the stock market up or down. Manipulation in the bond market, especially the yield, has never been so prevalent. So please, like I tell my members all the time, we'll look at the yield, but let's depend on our chart. Let's depend on our trends. That's what we talk about all the time, the trend. But our chart is the only one that gives you a good trend, because our charts will tell you if the money is going into your stock or out of your stock. You can't tell with your generic charts. Look at any chart you have. You can't tell. Your candlesticks going up, they're red candlesticks, green candlesticks, red candlesticks, green candlesticks. When our stocks are going, let's take oil. We bought oil around $19.30. It's up 21.27. We have about 11% gain. But we know exactly those candlesticks never turned another color except green. That told us the big boys were in there buying oil. Now, if I go look at the bond yield, like Maria Bartiromo said, what the hell would they're playing with the bond yield, up and down, up and down, up and down. But by simply looking at my color-coded chart where they're all green candlesticks, it tells you when to get in. But here's the most important thing. It tells you when to get out. And at 2 o'clock every day, we post our portfolio of stocks. And we tell our members every day what to do based on our color code, based on the money flow. You can't trust bond yields anymore until you get rid of the Federal Reserve. They corrupted something that was so pure that could help you. Every morning you knew, I'm going to be in big tech today, because yields are down. And I'm going to short banks. You knew that, what to do. That's all gone now. They destroyed that. So it's imperative to make sure you got a chart that's getting you out when you're supposed to be got out. And also make sure we can take advantage of this. Let them keep cheating. Let them keep driving this market higher and higher. And the higher they drive in this market, the inflation keeps going up because they keep printing and printing. And he lies to us on Thursday and say, I'm going to cut back. I'm not going to print as much money. And boom, if you took a look at the dollar, shot straight up. Shot straight up. Everybody had to cover their short position. Oh, wait a minute, he's not going to print any more money. He's not going to buy treasuries anymore. They're not going to keep the yields down. The interest rates down. They're no more. So interest rates are going to go up. So people scramble, changing their stock. He was full of baloney. Over the weekend, he started already again printing more money to make sure the interest rates went down. And because he wanted the yield to drop, because he wanted tech stocks to go up. See, they'll never let go of these tech stocks. These tech stocks for 13 years have been geared, especially the FANG stocks, to go no place but up. They're addicted to them. The big hedge funds are addicted to them. Everybody in Congress is addicted to them. The big banks are addicted to them. It's an addiction worse than heroin to these people. All the people that have great wealth today in the last 13 years was created from the big tech stocks. What do you want them to do now? You think they're going to follow? You think Powell's going to sit there and say, well, guys, tell you what we're going to do. No longer am I going to print money. So the dollar's going to go back up. Because, see, he's afraid. He's afraid. Because all this printing of money that destroyed the dollar, he knew that's where real inflation was coming from, because people who make between, say, $25,000, well, let's take 72% of our labor force who make less than $48,000 a year. They're getting killed because their clothes and everything we import was too expensive. They were creating so much inflation that when they keep on importing, we keep importing all these goods from China to put into Walmart and Target and Home Depot, those prices going up and up, but wages aren't going up and up, and inflation keeps going up. So now he turns around and says to all his boys, hey, we're not going to do that anymore. Don't worry. We're not going to keep killing the dollar by printing money and buying treasuries to get those yields down and killing the dollar from all that printing. We're not going to do that anymore. And then Tuesday, over the weekend, he started printing again so he could come in and print all weekend, buy treasuries, drop those interest rates so he wanted to get those yields down. So, boom, the big tech stocks go up. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think we're going to see a rotation pretty quick. I think you're going to see the big tech stocks soon are going to roll over, and the bank stocks are going to go back up. You want to know why? Because in March, those crooks at the Federal Reserve decided they wanted to be the leaders. They were tired of having their bank stocks getting hit. So they turned around, and remember, the Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve has no power over the 10-year Treasury yield. They can't move it up and down. That's done, again, by if you're going to sell treasuries, the Treasury Department goes out and they have a bid. They have an auction. But here's what they can control. Remember what they've been doing. They've been printing all this money, and they go in and buy all the treasuries from the banks. They buy all the treasuries from the corporations. So they went from having $800 billion on their balance sheet to $8 trillion. So they can, at any time they want, go in and get the interest rates down, the yields down, to move tech stock up by simply selling some of their treasuries. And the banks, they have so much money, they can sell their treasuries. So you see what's going on here? So if you want to make money in this market, you can't depend on these gangsters. You'll go nuts. You won't make money. And the worst thing, you won't know when to get out of the market. But I swear, if you're with us and you have the color-coded chart that tells you when to get in, tells you when to add, tells you when not to add, tells you when to get out, tells you when to run like hell. But it tells you also in advance that these stocks are going to go back down. And that means you can short. You make more money on the way down. But most of you are scared. You don't know how to short because you don't even know when to short. No, we solved that with my patent stocks, with the color code. And if you don't believe it, try it for 10 days. It's free. For 10 days, it's free. All right. So we know right now that we have all these zombie companies out there now. When this market crashes, it's going to be huge. Because remember, after 2008, we had these large public companies, about 28-30% of the S&P 500 companies should have went bankrupt. But what'd they do? And the banks should have went, like 5-6 of our largest investment banks should have went bankrupt. But what did they do? The gangsters, Federal Reserve, printed money, go in, and they saved them. They saved them. They go in, they printed all this money, and they went in and bought all their debt so they wouldn't go down. These are still zombie companies. Our banks are still zombie banks. People don't believe it. And we still have public companies. Remember, all we did by printing all this money and to buy all the treasuries to drop interest rates down and to try to keep the yields down so big tech stocks will go up. This is all they've been doing for 13 years. It's almost over. So when we crash, a lot of these companies, 30% of the companies, the S&P, are going to have big trouble. And the banks are going to have big trouble. That's why they're using this inflation to smoke their problem, to mask their problems, right? A big smoke screen. So all you need to do is keep it simple. Just buy the stocks where the money's going. But guess what? You don't have a chart to do that. And get out when the money comes out. You don't have a chart that does that. That's what we do. Check it out, free for 10 days. 10 days. And every day we post our portfolio for you. And you can follow us, what we do on our portfolio. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow on the charts. And remember, sign up for your free charts and your membership for 10 days.
Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877